A mystical force is starving a young woman and draining her life away. You will be shocked to learn the origin of this terrifying illness. Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal the story of a deadly betrayal. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and shocking stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate high-profile criminal cases and astonishing paranormal phenomena. Alina Hetmanska contacted the psychics asking for help. She is only 25, but a rare illness, achalasia, is killing her slowly. Alina can't eat.
This is the procedure they perform on me every day. The drips are my breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
For several years now, Alina has been fed through IV drips. There is no unscarred area left on her arms due to the medical needles.
The esophagus transitions into the stomach, and in this area, connective tissue begins to form. Why it forms there remains a mystery, but this tissue keeps growing, compressing the esophagus itself.
It's the same feeling as if someone grabbed you by the throat and started choking you.
The medics are baffled as to why this disease has appeared in someone so young.
Typically, people well over 40 get this disease.
This is the unique case when the illness developed in someone that young.
And the illness is extremely rare. Only one person out of 100,000 gets it.
It all began 4 years ago, at night, when Alina saw some kind of ghost right in her room.
I woke up and saw someone staring at me.
By the next morning, Alina couldn't even swallow a spoonful of porridge.
I started eating, and it felt like it was stuck in my throat and choking me.
From then on, Alina's constant struggle for survival began. She underwent surgery to remove the excess tissue from her esophagus and widen the passage to her stomach. But after each surgery, the excess tissue kept growing back again and again.
In her case, there has been no sign of improvement.
As such, the hospital ward became a new home for Alina.
I don't know how to living, and I have no idea what will be tomorrow.
Her illness has destroyed all her hopes. I think there's no worse punishment, and I have no idea why this happened.
She's in the hospital most of the time. So many doctors have tried to cure this illness, but nothing helps.
In addition, almost every night, Alina wakes up feeling a cold breath near her.
I think there is someone here. Someone else lives here with us.
And almost every time this unknown entity appears near Alina, she nearly dies.
My blood vessels burst, and I bled. The ambulance took me to the hospital, and they supported me with IV drips.
The doctors say that while Alina's body is still young, she can hold on for a little longer. But the outlook is extremely grim. Moreover, they have forbidden her from having children.
She can't eat properly, so how will she nourish her baby? A pregnant woman must receive proper nutrition. She herself doesn't get it. If the mother doesn't receive it, the baby won't either, and it will be born unhealthy.
The psychics are her last hope.
I need you to help me. I want to live a normal life.
Our project's experts, Anna Goryachova and Sofia Litvinova, immediately responded to Alina's letter. The psychics meet in the park near the hospital. There, Alina is being given another IV drip to help her stay on her feet during filming.
Sophia, a few days ago I almost died in the forest. I was visiting my friends in Ukraine. We were out of town and I had a vision. I saw a woman with long white hair. Her eyes were glassy and piercingly cold, and her eyelashes were white. She was like the Snow Queen. She was calling me somewhere and kept repeating, "I wasn't always like this." Suddenly, I felt water running down my face, and it was very cold. I turned around and realized I was standing in the middle of the forest. It was dark, raining heavily, and I was in just socks and a nightgown. I barely found my way back to the house. I wandered for hours. I think it has something to do with our today's investigation.
I am totally sure of that.
Hello. My name is Alina. I can't eat or even drink. I'm just dying, and it's happening quickly, and I don't understand why.
According to the doctors, Alina may live for another 3 to 4 years at most. This is so terrifying.
My name is Natalia. I'm her sister. She's the dearest person to me, and I can't imagine life without her. She's suffering, but doctors can do nothing about it.
Alina, can I hold your hand? Holding Alina's hand in mine, I had a vision. I saw her in a coffin. A girl approached her and closed the coffin lid. Someone wants her dead. It's worse than it seemed. Death could come for you very soon.
This is the worst thing ever. I can't even express it with words.
I want to live badly. I want to have children.
It's all right.
I hope so.
When I hugged you, I sensed someone else also hug you. It was clear that it was some kind of entity. It appeared quickly and disappeared just as quickly. I see a portrait, 2 people. They are of different genders. It's a young man.
My boyfriend.
This is the man who loves you madly.
I love him too.
But why are you all white?
Yes, I used to be blonde, but I dyed my hair later.
Alina realized what Sofia Litvinova was talking about. Here is the photo. It shows a happy couple, Alina and her fiancé, Denis.
Denise always supports and helps her.
Denis is currently working in Poland, doing construction works, as Alina's constant fourth nutrition costs about 800 hryvnias a day.
I constantly see the image of a strange ghost near you. It's transparent and chilling.
Sometimes it even feels like someone is sitting next to me.
You feel it in when you're home, don't you? And
Yes, when I'm in my apartment, I hear footsteps, and I even hear doors knocking. Sometimes someone knocks on the door. I look through the peephole, but there's no one is there.
We need to see your place.
I invite you.
Thirteen.
and someone's death. It's somebody related to you by blood, Alina.
13 is the date of our younger sister's birth. She was 7 months old when she died.
She was born in June. On the 13th of June, 1985, I was 5 years old. And on January 24th, 1986, she was gone. I remember the photos of me holding her as a little girl.
Her spirit is crying, and she's afraid for you, Alina. She says, beware of the icy girl.
Are you unwell?
Yes. I feel dizzy, and it's like someone is constantly squeezing my throat.
Sounds like you're feeling what I always feel. I get dizzy. Sometimes it gets so bad that I can't see anything in front of me.
And the closer we are to your home, the stronger the feeling. Something is choking me, like it's attacking me from behind.
And my shoulders hurt a lot, even now. It feels like someone is sitting on my shoulders, and I can't shake them off, like I'm carrying someone.
It looks to be the entity. The entity I saw when we first met. And someone else hugged us.
Come in.
Over here, it feels like a magnet is pulling me. Someone tried to kill you here.
I heard it at night. Someone got up from my room and went to the kitchen. And then I found the gas turned on. When I turned it off, I felt dizzy for a whole week. I was poisoned by the gas.
This entity has a clear goal, your death. By any means. May I go into that room?
Of course, of course.
The spirit is showing me a cross and a gray bird.
There's a bird on Mom's gravestone at the cemetery.
Your mother's spirit is here.
Alina and Natalia's mother passed away 5 years ago from cancer.
Hellish pain. I'm feeling her death.
I saw Mom suffer. In the end, she simply prayed to die sooner.
For some reason, your mother feels resentment towards you, Alina. My God, I can't breathe.
Water. Water. Water.
The clairvoyant doesn't open her eyes. It takes a long time to bring her back to consciousness.
A terrible scream. I heard a woman scream and then something started choking me. I couldn't understand who the woman was. Could it have been the sister's mother? I began to suspect that she could be pulling her daughter to the other side.
Listen, I heard something crash.
Mom's photo fell.
When Anna Goryachova lost consciousness, the portrait of the mother fell. But what does all this mean?
Does the photo often fall?
The glass breaks whenever we put it in the frame. That's why it's without glass. On the 40th day after she was gone, we went to commemorate her, and when we came back home, I took the photo, kissed Mom, and immediately saw cracks all over the glass. We replaced it the next day, but it cracked again. A month later, we replaced the glass again, and it cracked once more. The cracks appear right before our eyes.
Did she want to say something with this?
Her spirit can't say anything here. She constantly shows me the bird on her grave. We need to go to the cemetery where your mother is buried.
I'm shivering and cold. I'm cold all the time.
Here it is, the gray bird from my vision.
You didn't tell us all? What happened?
We didn't get to say a proper goodbye to Mom. People approached her coffin to their goodbyes. We also came up, but while I turned away, they closed the lid and started sealing it. I started shouting, "Wait! I haven't said goodbye yet!" Of course, no one listened. I really hope she's not angry with me.
But that's not why she's upset with you.
I want to see her, hug her, tell her how much I love her, but I can't.
Alina, she loves you too and says she's upset because you wanted to kill yourself.
Yes. I had thoughts of ending my life. I just don't know what will happen next. My life has turned upside down. I'm scared. I'm hungry all the time, but I can't eat.
Life is the most precious gift from God. Neglecting it is a great sin, especially attempting to end it. The spirit of the woman is trying to give us a clue about who is really killing her daughter. The spirit of your mother says, "Beware of the ice girl."
And the cracked glass on her portrait is also a sign. The mother is trying in every possible way to warn her daughter about the mortal danger. Her spirit suffers because she can't protect her.
The thing is that the entity was deliberately tormenting Alina. The goal the entity followed was for her to die in agony. But why?
There's a chill running through my legs, through my arms. I'm freezing, even though I'm dressed in warm clothes.
Someone's breathing in my ear.
She's standing behind you, Alina. The young woman with icy eyes and frost on her eyelashes.
Cold breath. Someone is blowing cold air into my ear. I even turned around and saw someone standing on my left side.
And she says, I haven't always been like that.
I'm constantly cold and shaking. It's so cold. No matter how well I wrap up.
She dissolved into the air. Who is she? I still don't understand why she's following you. But first we need to deal with the spirit of your mother. Let's release her.
Goodbye. I love you so much. You're in my heart forever. Forgive me. Forgive me. Please forgive me if you can. I love you.
We've got to go.
I see the building where you live, and right next to it, there's the girl with white hair and frosty eyelashes. Oh my God, she's over there.
I can't walk. Honestly, I can't walk. My legs feel like iron. My each leg feels like it weighs 50 kilograms. I can't even lift it.
My God, your legs seem to be frozen solid. It's horrible. Guys, she's paralyzed. Someone help carry Alina to the van.
One of the cameramen lifts Alina in his arms. She can't walk. The situation is extremely tense.
My God.
The icy entity has appeared again. She's here and she wants you dead. My God, it's so horrible.
The clairvoyance whispered something for a long time. Finally, Alina feels a bit better, and everyone heads to her home.
The heaviness is gone, but the cold won't go.
Pull over. Pull over.
Someone unwell?
That way.
What happened?
I say quick. Pull over.
She saw something. Anna, where are you going?
Everyone is shocked. What is Anna Goryachova feeling, and where is she going?
She's calling me, repeating, I wasn't always like this.
The psychic doesn't stop and keeps running into the woods as fast as she can. Before the investigation began, Anna Goryachova mentioned a vision, after which she mysteriously ended up in the forest, and now she's rushing there again.
Watch out. There's a river there.
She's calling me again. She's standing right in front of me. The young woman's spirit, the white eyelashes and the glassy look. She points at you, Alina, and calls you a traitor.
Everyone is shocked. Who is the clairvoyant talking about? What do her words mean?
This girl walks through the forest, constantly repeating your name. Did you abandon her?
We hung out together at a local club, and then we took a taxi home and she stayed behind. Then she walked to my place. She walked through the forest and froze. I had a friend who died. She froze in the forest while walking to my home.
She ended up in the forest because of you, Alina. You left her in some place, but why? Because I hear you say, let's go together. You can stay at mine, right?
Yes, I understand. We were supposed to go together, but we left in the taxi and she stayed there alone.
And she didn't know what to do because she had no money, so she had to walk through the forest on foot. And she got lost.
It happened 4.5 years ago. Alina's friend was found right at this spot where the clairvoyant is now standing. The young woman was dead.
They found her with her eyes open, and there was fear on her face. I can't imagine what she went through. When I found out, I sat motionless for 3 days, looking at her photo and weeping.
You left her alone despite you told her you'd take her home with you.
The young woman lived 100 kilometers from here. She came to visit Alina. In the evening, they gathered a party of friends and went to a nightclub.
They partied and then left her alone. They all took a taxi and she left the nightclub on foot in winter and walked through the forest. She froze, and they found her the next day.
At that time, Alina was in a relationship. Enthralled by her feelings, she completely forgot about her friend and went home with her boyfriend. She had no idea that her carelessness would be fatal for her friend.
She considers you a traitor. She hated you for abandoning her. And it was after her death that everything went wrong for you.
Alina recalls that the very next morning after her friend's funeral, she couldn't swallow a single piece of food.
Her spirit is bound to you, seeking revenge, and you can only detach it by yourself. Visit her grave and ask her for forgiveness. She will hear you.
This is very good.
A shocking investigation. A young beauty predicted her own death and is now trying to warn her cousin of the impending doom from the other side. Don't miss out. Will the psychics be able to stop the murderous force? This is Anna Goryachova. She is from Ukraine. Alina has just finished school and entered a military academy. She asked the psychics for help because she is convinced she will die soon, of which her deceased second cousin warned her in a dream.
I got very scared. I'm afraid to die.
This is the last photo where Alina is with her cousin, whose name was also Alina.
She was Alina, and I am Alina. We were even born in the same month. She was very dear to me.
Alina lives in constant fear because previously her deceased cousin had predicted her own death.
She felt her death.
After the terrible car crash in which Alina died, her grief-stricken mother found her daughter's diary. And what she read there made her blood run cold.
She saw her death. I open my eyes. It's dark, quiet, and eerie. There's a coffin behind me. And who's in it? I smile. I didn't sleep at night. I died at night.
It's unbelievable, but Alina did die at night. The car, which had 2 passengers and a driver, crashed into a tree. Alina's friend was driving. The car was driving in the rightmost lane and suddenly hit a pothole. It veered into the adjacent lane. At that moment, another car crashed into it at full speed, and it was thrown onto the roadside. It hit the tree on the side where Alina was sitting, to the right of the driver.
Nobody else was injured. She was the only victim.
The terrible and bizarre death of the 19-year-old beauty, who was a brilliant medical student and a gentle daughter and sister, shocked everyone.
Alina was the soul of the company. She wrote poems, sang, and danced.
It's hard to recognize Alina's mother as the cheerful woman she used to be. What shocked her most was the fact that Alina had drawn how she would die in her diary. On almost every page, she drew a car and a tree.
And the tree eventually killed her. She knew she would die.
But the most horrifying thing is that now the deceased beauty is warning her younger second cousin about an imminent death. The girl still recalls with terror the first time she saw her ghost.
I just looked up and saw a grayish silhouette passing between the corridors.
And after that, the younger Alina almost died on the road. She and her father were riding bicycles. Suddenly, she felt something shove her and fell onto the roadway, where a car was speeding towards her. Her father pulled her out from under the car's wheels at the very last moment.
I'm afraid it can also happen to me. I really want the psychics to help me. I want it all to end, finally.
Yaroslava Fedorova and an Azerbaijani psychic, Kayal Alekperov, take on the investigation.
While working with Alina's photo, I felt that some otherworldly force was hunting her. I decided to ask my djinns, and they told me, behind the girl with the bracelet on her hand, you will find a dead child who knows about death. Ask about the twins and find the killing headscarf.
I see a dead woman over there. The dog sees her too. Her throat is cut. She says, "Save Alina."
From whom?
She vanished.
The next morning, the psychics meet with Alina.
Hello?
Hello?
Erica, Alina's and her deceased cousin's friend, is also here to support her.
The threat to you comes from a dead woman. She's avenging some man.
But who is that woman?
Look for her who murdered her family.
I don't understand what it could mean.
Did anything like that ever happen in your family?
We didn't understand who that woman was, or why she'd taken one girl and was hunting the other. And most importantly, how could Alina predict her own death?
An otherworldly force showed her her death.
It was someone's spirit. It's connected with a book. In this book, I see a portrait of a girl with a pendant on her neck, and half of her head is missing.
It could be a drawing in her notebook. Alina drew herself without half of her face, and she had a pendant that we gave her for her birthday.
Alina was wearing the pendant on the night of her death.
I see Alina in a wrecked car. Blood. The right side of her head is gone.
Yes. The right side of her head was completely smashed.
I need to see the diary.
It's at her home.
The friends take the psychics to the place where the deceased Alina's mother lives. It's been less than 40 days since her daughter's death, and the woman still can't eat or sleep at night.
Hello. My name is Helena.
Alina was the only girl among the woman's 4 children. Her eldest son is 21, and he's married and lives separately. Her younger sons are 8 and 4, but Helena says that it was with her daughter that she had the strongest emotional connection.
I can't stop thinking that I didn't kiss and hug her enough.
The diary. Can I work with it?
Yes.
Could you please give me Alina's photo? Thank you. The girl's spirit was nowhere to be found. It was very strange, because until 40 days pass, souls stay near their relatives almost constantly.
If Alina's spirit isn't at home, could we find it at the cemetery? I tuned into that place, but I didn't feel her there either. The spirit only came there once, on the day of her funeral.
She was standing behind you during the funeral.
Yes, yes. And she was holding me by my shoulders.
Please, don't cry.
Helena heard her daughter's voice at the funeral.
Mom, don't cry, she said. And I told her, yes, baby, I won't cry. I would do anything to get my child, my baby daughter, back. My sunshine, my little girl, my soul.
My jinns told me that the answer should be sought in Alina's childhood. I see that you raised her for a long time alone. Did her father leave you?
Yes.
The woman's 2 younger sons are from her second husband, with whom she lives now. Alina and her older brother were born in the first marriage.
Why did your first husband leave you?
He said I was too much trouble.
The man was simply scared of the financial difficulties the family faced. Alina sold her apartment, and with that money, the family planned to buy a house. But the seller deceived them with the papers. As a result, the family was left without their apartment and money, and had nowhere to live. And in such difficult circumstances, the man found nothing better to do than just run away.
The fact that I was abandoned is nothing. I just felt sorry for the children.
I was flipping through the pages, and suddenly my hand felt like it was on fire.
Here's Alina sitting. She's fiddling with her bracelets. This is what your jinns told you.
Behind the girl with the bracelet on her hand, you will find a dead child who knows about death. Who's that?
It's her friend Christina. She died.
Alina was 11 and Christina was 12, and she died because of diabetes. The doctors failed to diagnose it in time.
It was the spirit of her friend that showed Alina how she would die. Christina started haunting Alina before her death.
She saw her recently, in the mirror.
Christina not only warned her friend about death, but also tried to show her the dead woman who posed the threat. And I also saw her, holding a black headscarf in her hands.
Quiet.
A curtain in the room stirred by itself.
The spirit of the young woman with the slashed throat stood by the window. She had already asked us to save the younger Alina at the beginning of the investigation.
Does this mean the psychics see two different women? The one Kayal Alekperov sees is holding a black headscarf, and Yaroslava Fedorova sees a completely different woman, the one with her throat cut.
Wait. She's beckoning me somewhere. Not only is her throat cut, but there's no spot on her body that is not injured.
Svetlana.
She was murdered last year. Her husband did it.
Just like the younger Alina, Svetlana was also Alina's niece. These are already two horrific deaths in the family.
Mommy.
It's incredible. The clairvoyant sensed Svetlana's mother among the crowd of people.
Aunt Helena, please don't.
What a horror. Two young women died in the family in less than a year. But is Svetlana's death connected to Alina's death and the danger to her cousin?
Your daughter died after she was stabbed twice.
He kept stabbing her when she was dead.
47 stabs when she was dead.
He mutilated her so badly that we buried her in a closed coffin.
Svetlana married her future murderer a year before the tragedy. The couple lived in harmony. It was a terrible shock to everyone when one fateful evening, Svetlana's husband brutally murdered her.
He did it out of jealousy, but she loved him very much and never even looked at other men. I see her lying dead, and he's lying next to her alive.
The police, called by the neighbors, found Svetlana's husband next to her dead body. The man confessed to committing the terrible crime. However, he could not logically explain why he murdered his wife and then mutilated her body.
The cards showed that Svetlana was doomed to die. Her fate was cut short, just like your daughter's.
Wait. My book seems to say that Svetlana was your daughter.
She was my goddaughter. She was the first child I baptized.
Yes, and this girl is also your goddaughter.
And Alina is my goddaughter too.
So, this is what connects the three young women. They are all Alina's daughters. One of them was her biological daughter, and two others are her goddaughters.
Before God and higher powers, a goddaughter is the same as a biological daughter. Alina's daughters are dying because of a dead woman with a black headscarf in her hands. We need to find Alina's spirit. She will tell us who this woman with the black scarf is. Could we find her spirit at the site of her death?
It's far. We need to drive there.
It's the first time Alina visits the site of her daughter's death.
God, this tree is huge. She drew it like this. My God, my baby girl.
But Alina's spirit isn't coming. She's not here, at the cemetery, or at home. She's somewhere nearby, at a spot that's important to her.
She liked going to the sea just to sit there.
I walked along the shore for over an hour, and at some point, I heard crying. Dead Alina was sitting on the rocks, but she wasn't alone. I see your daughter. She's here, holding a baby.
It's a baby girl, and she's dead. Who is it?
I had a miscarriage. I had twins.
Alina's younger son is one of the twins. The other child died in the womb. Horribly, it was a girl, another daughter.
Only girls die, while boys survive.
This looks like some kind of family curse. My book says that a man from the family is involved in this. Alina's spirit is now showing me a headscarf. Find the killing headscarf.
Kayal, what killing headscarf?
Your daughter says, "The woman who caused my death is avenging my father."
Why would she need him?
Your daughter is crying because of her father, because he didn't need her. Alina shared her pain with the sea.
Alina says that her ex-husband simply erased their daughter from his life, but the girl so wanted her father to at least occasionally show interest in her life.
She wanted him just to call and say a few words. You can't imagine how much she loved him.
What's the father's name?
Ole.
We need to talk to Alina's father. We rang the doorbell of Alina's father's apartment several times, but no one answered. When we left the building, we saw the light in his window go out. The man refused to even listen. We can't use Ole to connect with the dead woman with the black headscarf. The only option left is to summon her spirit.
The clairvoyants go to a quiet spot they find nearby to perform the ritual.
I see a woman's silhouette in the flames. She's about 30. She has dark hair. My jinns are telling me that she killed not only your daughters, but almost her entire family. This woman and her family became a sacrifice because she performed a ritual. And that ritual was for the death of Alina's daughters. All this because of a man who bleeds at night.
It turned out that Alina's father saw himself covered in blood in a dream just before his daughter's death. He told his ex-wife about it at their daughter's funeral.
He had a dream that blood was gushing from his vein like a fountain.
It was a sign that he would lose his blood, his child.
But who is this woman, and what did Alina's father do to her?
A family bound him and that woman. Was he married before you?
Yes.
And I feel that you also had a relationship with him even before his marriage to this woman.
Yes, we dated for 5 years. Then he went to serve in the army, and I waited for him. And he brought a new fiancée back from the army. He said she was pregnant. Well, I said, it's a serious business then. And I turned around and left, that's all.
The man told Alina that his children would never grow up without a father, and soon married Yulia.
But then they stopped living together.
Did he leave her for you?
Yes.
Alina tried to convince her husband to return to his pregnant wife and begged him not to leave her and their child, but he said he would not live with Yulia anyway. He only heard about his daughter from his mother, who occasionally visited her granddaughter.
This woman dreamed of getting her man back.
She tried to get him back through magic. I see a photo of your Ole, and it's being pierced with a knife.
My mother-in-law saw that photo.
Ole's mother found the spoiled photo at Yulia's house during one of her visits.
But Yulia failed to enchant the man. She tried to persuade him to return to her. She says, "Come back. I gave birth to your daughter." And he replies something like, "So what? Halina will give me a daughter too."
With the help of magic, she condemned Galina's daughters to death.
I see that Yulia died when she was young.
She was about 30 when she died.
And almost all of her family is gone because of that.
Later, Ole's mother revealed off-camera that Yulia's second husband, brother, and mother all died one after another.
But I saw a girl who stayed alive.
Her daughter lives.
Ole didn't take this child with him after her mother's death. And the girl was only 12 then. He didn't need her, just like he didn't need Alina. Yulia's spirit is holding a headscarf with an embroidered pattern of a hand and a flower.
A headscarf? Wait a minute.
Alina suddenly recalls that her mother-in-law saw something similar at Yulia's home.
Hands and a flower. She said she saw them embroidered.
I see this headscarf being buried in the ground.
Wait. There is one awful ritual when you bury a headscarf with the name of a woman you want to take revenge on in a grave.
Yulia was taking revenge on you. She performed this ritual to bring death on your daughters. To neutralize its effect, I prayed for 2 hours. Alina, you're now safe. The spirit of your daughter is here, Halina.
Sister, we really miss you.
Baby, I love you so much. My sweet, good girl.
You can't build happiness on someone else's misfortune, as the saying goes. What an incredible story. For the first time in the history of the project, an angel will ask the psychics for help. Who imprisoned the angel in the human world? Don't miss out. The psychics will uncover a horrifying murder that shook the entire nation. This is Anna Goryachova, an ordinary young woman from Western Ukraine. She has a wonderful family of a husband and 2 sons, but she is convinced that the ghost of her father lives with them in their home and is trying to drive her out of this world.
I saw a shadow. I started screaming. I didn't know what it was. My husband and kids were home, but I was afraid to get out of bed.
The phantom seemed to pass through the wall and go outside. As the only person to have seen it, Anna thought she was losing her mind. However, when she reviewed the surveillance camera recordings, she was simply astonished.
Here are the videos. This camera captured a gray spot. It looks like someone walking, and it's apparently not a human being.
And the following night, Anna had a nightmare.
I saw myself in a coffin. In that room, in the place where my father died, and where he was laid out for the wake, everything looked almost the same.
Anna is convinced that in that horrifying dream, her father showed her what awaited her in the near future.
I woke up in a cold sweat.
In the evening of the day after the ghost appeared, Anna had an awful car accident. All she can remember is the headlights of the oncoming car and a massive impact.
I was 7 months pregnant at that time. I hit my stomach on the steering wheel.
Anna was driving. We were carried for 20 meters before she turned the wheel, and we were thrown to the side.
There was a ditch there. I just flew over it.
An ambulance took Anna from the scene of the accident. She was in critical condition. The medical team performed a miracle to save her and her baby. But just a few days later, Anna saw the ghost of her late father again. After that encounter, she was almost electrocuted as she plugged in a brand new electric kettle.
I plugged it in, and I remember being thrown back. I looked at my hand and saw it was burned completely.
The young mother is convinced that her late father is trying to kill her from the other side, because he abused her during his life.
We had intense arguments. I cleaned, cooked, and did my best. But he would just explode over everything I did and beat me.
He beat her badly, to the point of blood. He broke her nose, and she had severe bruises.
Anna is from a middle-class family. To support the family, her mother often went abroad to work, like most women in this area. She left Anna in the care of her father.
I always dreamed of leaving one day and never speaking to him again. Never.
But when her father was diagnosed with cancer, Anna cared for him until the very end, and even on the deathbed, the man continued to insult Anna.
His aggression was so intense that sometimes I just couldn't understand it.
But after her father's death, Anna fears him even more. When he was dying in the hospital, he asked the nurses to convey terrible words to his daughter. He said that she had to leave this world.
I can't explain why he would say that.
Desperate, Anna asked the psychics to help her stop her father's ghost.
I really want and desperately ask the psychics to help me.
Our project's most powerful experts, Anna Goryachova and Kayal Alekperov, will look into the case.
My djinns are telling me today Anna will show us murdered children.
Her children?
I don't know.
What murdered children is the psychic talking about? Could it be a terrible prediction of the future?
Wait. She claims her father is trying to take her life. Perhaps he also wants to take and her children. But why? I'm completely confused. The cards say that we can avoid 2 deaths when I see a boy with a cross on his heart.
Anna has 2 children, right? Maybe it's about them. But who is the boy with a cross on his heart?
Strangely, just as the psychics mentioned the mysterious boy, Kayal Alekperov noticed the sunlight from the window.
Jana, don't move! I see the image of a woman.
Is it a spirit?
I don't know. She glows like an angel.
That can't be. Angels only come into this world to save those they protect. Could that be Anna's guardian angel?
I don't know. But she's saying something. You won't save the life while the woman looks into the window.
What woman?
The spirit says to me, you will see her when the words ignite.
Anna greets the psychics alone. At their request, her husband took their children to the family friends.
Hello.
Come in.
Hold the cards, please. So strange. The card of jealousy. It was because of this feeling that your father took his anger out on you.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
Your father was jealous not of you, but of your mother.
Yes, my father was jealous of Mom.
Did your mother cheat on him?
No.
At that moment, the cards showed me that his jealousy was baseless. Anna's mother was a beautiful woman who was often the center of attention, and of course, she received compliments. This drove her husband mad. But what does this have to do with Anna?
My djinns are telling me that your father seemed to have tied your mother to himself. She was afraid to take even a single step without his permission.
Yes.
I'm having a terrible vision. He beats his wife right in front of a small child. In front of your eyes, Anna.
Yes. He would beat Mom badly. It all happened spontaneously, like something inside him snapped. Even though I was a little girl, I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Anna says that because of her father's jealousy, her mother didn't even dare to get a job. At the same time, the man earned too little to cater to all the needs of his family, which, besides Anna, also included 2 elder sons.
They often argued because of that, and besides, he drank heavily.
My jinns say that at some point your mother couldn't take it anymore and left.
She went to Italy.
Anna's mother sent money to the family every month. She left her sons and daughter in the care of her mother. The grandmother lived with her son-in-law and grandchildren until the children grew up. The mother rarely visited home.
She always tried to make sure we had everything we needed.
He took his anger out on you because you looked so much like her.
Yes. He saw Mom in me. After Mom left, he took his anger out on me. He would even say, "You're just like her." He was very aggressive.
When I ask my book why your life is in danger, it says that the reason is some dead woman who is related to you by blood.
I don't understand.
My book told me that the deceased woman was bound to the world of the living. She couldn't leave. And it seemed that Anna's father was talking about her when he said, "She has to go to leave this world." The man must have seen her spirit before he died.
She visited him before his death.
Yes.
Anna recalls that shortly before his death, her father indeed behaved strangely, as if he was talking to a ghost. But back then, Anna attributed everything to his condition.
He would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. I often noticed that after he fell asleep, he would start talking to someone. Who was he talking to?
I tuned in and thought, who is the dead woman? Why can't she leave this world? But at that same moment, I saw a strange silhouette walking from the gate to the front door of the house.
It opened by itself. I'm terrified.
Oh, God.
The gate opened, the flower pot fell, and the door opened by itself. Chills ran down my spine. I didn't know what was going on.
At that moment, I saw the woman again. The same one I'd seen earlier that day.
Is it a spirit?
She glows like an angel. Said she needed to be Anna's guardian angel, but she couldn't. If only I had known it was connected with one of the bloodiest homicides in Ukraine's history.
Do you mean you see the woman who wants to become a guardian angel for Anna?
Yes, but for some reason, she can't. My book said Anna should have 2 guardian angels, but I only saw one behind her. The second angel was supposed to be the woman whose spirit appeared to us. But she can't fulfill her mission for some reason. Could this be one of your relatives? Often, higher powers endow the souls of deceased people who are worthy of becoming angels, with the mission to protect their loved ones.
Can you describe this woman?
She's young and looks very much like you, and she says her name is also Anna.
Grandma.
Your father's mother?
Yes.
She's holding her hands like this. And doing it, she's lying under a stone slab.
Yes, a slab killed Grandma. She was working on a construction site and a slab killed her. She was young. My father and his brother were little when the slab killed her.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire practice. Why can't Anna's grandmother become an angel? We needed to find out.
She's attached to something, to a place she can't leave no matter what she does.
Exactly. She says she also has very little time now. At that moment, I realized that Anna's father had seen and spoken to his mother's spirit before his death.
But why can't Anna's long-gone grandmother become an angel? And most importantly, how to help her? The psychics decided to tune in to the energy of the house.
What did you see there?
A shadow.
At that moment, I saw a man's silhouette in the mirror. And Anna also saw him.
Quiet, quiet. Get some water for Anna.
I saw the shadow of my late father. He was watching me from the mirror.
I couldn't understand why the spirit of Anna's father had come at this particular moment. Are you feeling better? Anna's father comes to this house because he feels guilty. Only after his death did he realize how much he had wronged his daughter.
He's asking you for forgiveness and wishes to protect you. That's why he appears when you're in danger.
Anna's life was in danger. Living without the protection of one of your guardian angels is like finding yourself in a room full of viruses when you have no immunity. The end could be rapid.
I'll put a protective spell on this bracelet. It will protect you while we investigate. We still had to find out why Anna's grandmother, who was supposed to be her guardian angel, was still bound to this world.
To find out, the psychics went to the place where Anna's grandmother died.
Jana, what are you looking at all the time?
I saw the spirit of a little boy looking out the window at me. He gestured for me to come up. I felt that it was definitely connected to our investigation. I'll leave you for a while.
I'll work here. Call me if you need me.
I decided to read the cards to understand how the boy was connected to Anna's story. The cards said that the spirit of Anna's grandmother couldn't pass on to the other side because of him. The dead woman. She seems to be bound to this place.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov sensed the spirit of Anna's grandmother.
She says, I have to help the boy, and only then will I be able to protect you.
Is that my son?
No, it's not your son. Your grandmother's spirit says that the boy is locked in something like a room and cannot get out. He's like a prisoner. And your grandmother is the one who must help him. This is the mission that was given to her by the higher powers. Only after this will she be given her wings.
This is incredible. Is the boy that Jana Shulikova sensed the one that Anna's grandmother's spirit has to help?
It was no coincidence that the boy's spirit was sitting right by the window, and it was no coincidence that it was from there that he called me. Some woman was holding him there. God, it's somewhere here. Hello. My name is Jana.
I was shocked. I just couldn't grasp what was going on.
This is Elena, the owner of the apartment. A young mother, she and her family have lived here for over 5 years. She says that things are constantly happening in her house that simply make her hair stand on end. Someone otherworldly never takes their eyes off her, and sometimes she sees the ghost of a little boy.
I often feel that someone else is walking around. Sometimes shadows move. It feels like someone is just watching you.
Elena has called a priest here several times, but it didn't help, nor can she sell the apartment. Whenever potential buyers step inside, they refuse to buy without even explaining the reasons. But what exactly is going on here?
Can I go inside to take a look? I sense dead people here. You shouldn't spend here a long time, let alone live. My God. When you sleep, you're like dead. Have you seen yourself dead?
More than once. Just 2 weeks ago, I had the most recent dream in which I was stabbed 3 times during the night. I felt like I was dying.
It was no coincidence that the owner of the apartment was shown this dream with the murder. But at that time, I had no idea what it all meant, and how this whole story was connected with Anna and her guardian angel. I don't sense that anyone in the apartment was engaged in magic or occult rituals. But the cards said that someone had imprisoned the spirit of a dead boy here. and he's desperately trying to get out of the apartment. But who is the boy, and how is this possible?
What is really going on in this apartment? Why is the spirit of a little boy attached to it? And how is Anna's grandmother connected with this?
Your grandmother's spirit says that she can't leave the boy, but I don't understand what exactly connects her with him. Are you sure you don't know who this boy is? Have children ever died in your family?
I have no clue who it could be.
I didn't understand anything at all. To figure out what to do next, I decided to perform a ritual. As soon as I started, a woman approached me.
This woman had been watching the work of the Azerbaijani clairvoyant for a long time because she had her own question for him. 20 years ago, her 8-year-old son was murdered here, and she still doesn't know how and why it happened.
Hello. My name is Tatiana. My sister lived here in this building, and I left my son to spend the night at hers. And my son died here. He was stabbed. I wish to know the truth. What happened here, and how did it happen? Why? For what? I don't know anything.
Wait, you are the woman that the spirit of Anna's grandmother was talking about. You came when I was performing the ritual. I have to find a woman, and I will only see her when the words ignite. My jinns told me that the dead boy would lead us to the truth. So there is a direct connection between the tragic death of this boy and the things that are happening to Anna. But what is it? I have a picture in front of my eyes. I see a fair-haired boy of about 8 years old. He's smiling. Then I see a knife in his heart. Is this your son?
Yes, Yura.
Tatiana says that her son died because he was stabbed in the heart. The boy's body was found in her sister's apartment.
My book says that someone was punished for the murder.
They're in jail, but did they really do it? And if they did, then why?
Tatiana told us that 2 young workers who were renovating the apartment next door were detained and found guilty of the brutal murder. However, she does not understand if it was really them, why they took the boy's life so cruelly.
They were renovating the next door apartment.
At the trial, the mother asked the young men only one thing. Why did they kill her little son? However, the culprits denied their guilt. All these years, Tatiana has lived with the thought that her son's real murderer may actually be free.
At that moment, Anna felt ill. And by a strange coincidence, it was just when I realized that there was a connection between her and the murder of the little boy.
Bring water, please. I'm trembling all over.
In the next episode, the outcome of the investigation will shock everyone. Love between the worlds of the living and the dead.
A woman held him, and she's not from the world of the dead. She's alive.
The unbelievable investigation goes on. For the first time in the history of the project, an angel asked the psychics for help. The clairvoyants will uncover a gruesome murder that shocked the entire nation. In the previous episode, a young mother from Ukraine, Anna Vovkovich, asked the psychics for help. She's living under the constant threat of death. The psychics found out that all this is happening to her because she lives without the protection of one of her guardian angels. Anna was supposed to be protected by the love of her late grandmother, also Anna, who for some reason cannot fulfill her mission.
Something's holding her here. She's bound to this place.
Anna's grandmother worked at a construction site and died as a result of an accident. A concrete slab killed her. When the psychics Anna Goryachova and Kayal Alekperov arrived at the scene of the woman's death, Anna Goryachova saw a dead boy in the window of a residential building.
I saw the spirit of a little boy looking out the window at me. He gestured for me to come up. Can I go inside to take a look?
It turned out that the owner of the apartment is also suffering from the influence of otherworldly forces. Elena is on maternity leave. She spends most of her time at home, where she constantly sees the ghost of some little boy.
He won't leave.
It's unbelievable, but at the same time, Kayal Alekperov, who is working at the scene of Anna's grandmother's death, also starts talking about the dead boy.
Because of the little boy, the spirit of your grandmother can't become your guardian angel. But I don't understand what exactly connects her and the boy.
Suddenly, a woman approached the psychic. Her name is Tetiana, and her 8-year-old son, Yura, was brutally murdered in this building.
He was stabbed here.
As soon as the mother started talking about the murder of her son, Anna felt ill for no apparent reason.
Bring water, please.
Anna, are you any better? Can we proceed?
Yes.
The spirit of your grandmother says that not only your life is in danger, but also the life of a boy. He's fair-haired and looks to be about 5 years old. His name is Roman.
That's my grandson.
It turned out that apart from the son, Tetiana also has an elder daughter, Christina. 6 years ago, she gave birth to a son, Roman.
Your grandson is in mortal danger, and you also feel it.
It turned out that the woman has been having nightmares of little Roman falling into a grave. And a few days ago, when the boy was playing inside, a snake almost bit him. The boy's grandfather saved him.
He says, "Thank God I saw that snake."
The family still does not understand how a steppe viper ended up in the building, in the very center of a city.
I need to talk to my colleague. She just went that way. Wait. Was your son killed in one of the apartments in this section of the building?
Yes.
I've got to work there.
Tetiana brings the Azerbaijani clairvoyant to the apartment 81. This is where Anna Goryachova entered minutes ago.
Jana, this woman's name is Tetiana. She says that her little son was brutally murdered in this apartment.
My God.
Elena is simply stunned by what she heard. After all, she couldn't even imagine what happened in the apartment that she bought a few years ago.
I was shocked.
So, was it your son who brought me here?
Yes. He was stabbed in the heart.
Elena says that she has dreams in which she's killed with a knife.
I had a dream in which I was stabbed 3 times during the night.
The murdered boy's spirit tried to reach at least someone through a dream, to tell about his murder and the secret that won't let him go to the other world. I decided to tune in to the day of the murder, to understand what keeps the boy's spirit at the place of his death. Wait. He's wearing a shirt. A white shirt with a floral pattern.
My son.
I hear murmuring of voices and see him hiding. He's squatting behind the curtain like this.
He tried to hide.
He thought they wouldn't find him.
Tetiana still remembers finding the body of her little son in her sister's apartment. The mother left little Yura to spend the night at his aunt's, but when she came for him the next day, she saw him dead by the window, covered with a blanket.
He lay on the cot, covered completely. That's how he was lying there, poor soul. We called the police. I don't remember what was next. They took me away.
I was 5 years old. I couldn't imagine that someone could stab my brother.
There's a very young woman here. God, she's disfigured beyond recognition.
My sister, Lesa.
This is horrendous. It turns out that not only Tetiana's son was murdered, but also her only sister.
Lesia was covered with the couch like this with its back. I raised it and 21 stab wounds.
At that moment, I saw a baby crib, and in it was the bloodied body of a little girl. She's a little over a year old, and she has 3 stab wounds on her chest. A toddler.
My sister's daughter was in her crib. She was 1 year and 6 months old. Olya had 3 stab wounds. My Yura only one right into the heart.
There's a body over there.
Her husband, Slava.
A young couple and 2 little children were murdered in this apartment.
I just sat there stupefied and stared. 4 coffins. Here is my cousin. And there are my brother, my aunt, and my uncle. It's a nightmare.
My God, I can't.
The clairvoyant faints in front of everyone.
She let everything she saw pass through her.
I can't be here anymore.
Let's go outside, into the fresh air.
I'm so sick.
Somebody call an ambulance. Jana, hold on.
The ambulance arrived in 10 minutes. And at the same moment, Anna also felt ill.
I feel trembling and I think I'm about to faint.
Come back to us. You hear me? She's just numb.
Call the doctor.
Jana Goryachova and Anna are taken to the ambulance. The investigation is on the verge of collapse.
Jana gave Anna her protective bracelet. But even that didn't help her.
The doctors provided the necessary aid to Anna and Jana Goryachova, and an hour later the clairvoyant decides to continue the investigation.
Jana, we need to go back to the apartment. But I believe it's dangerous for Anna and Alina to stay there. Besides, I can only tune into the boy through Tetiana's energy. Alina, could we do it?
Yes.
Then let's go.
It's strange, but when I tune into this murder, I don't hear a single word except for the baby's cry. How can that be?
They were deaf-mute.
And all of them?
Olya, their daughter, could hear.
Even though Slava and Lesia had been deaf since childhood, little Olya was not hearing impaired.
My sister was deaf-mute. She wasn't born that way. Her eardrum got ruptured when she had an ear infection.
By a strange coincidence, Tetiana's little son was also born deaf, despite she and her husband having perfect hearing.
He had 4th-degree deafness, but they gave us a device. He could hear a little with the device.
A silent scream still echoes within the walls of this home. None of the victims could even call for help.
The boy. He shouldn't have been here. He died only because he happened to be here.
Tetiana still blames herself for leaving her son with her sister that day.
He came home from school with a cough and feeling sick. So I took him to see the doctor. We arrived in the city to see our local doctor. She listened to him and said that it was bronchitis and recommended putting him in the hospital. I wish I had done as she said, but I refused.
The woman says that if she had listened to the doctors then and put her son in the hospital, she could have saved him.
Instead, we went to visit my sister Slava and Olya. Lesia loved Yura very much, so she said, "He's sick, so let him stay with me. I'll give him the medicine. Why would you take him back to the village?"
If only Tetiana had known that her decision would take her son away from her forever.
He really wanted to stay here. It still hurts me that... Why did I leave him here? Just why?
Now I see that evening, 2 young men. They enter the apartment. The door is willingly opened in front of them, and then the blade of a knife flashes. The husband was murdered first.
Look, it's the trial. Those who did it are punished. I see them take some jewelry.
Yes.
After the investigation, our project's detective, Katerina Malachenko, found the case materials. And what they read is simply stunning.
Hearing the crying of the 1.5-year-old toddler, who lay in the crib in the middle of the room. The culprit saw gold earrings in her ears and decided to kill her and take possession of them.
But I sensed that for the murderers, the baby girl's earrings were too small a gain. So they took everything they could from the apartment.
Immediately after the murder of the baby, a gold ring with a gem, the gold wedding ring from the hand of the woman's corpse, a gold pendant, a bottle of vodka, a bottle of liqueur, and 6 bars of chocolate were taken from the apartment.
When Tetiana found out who was found guilty of the brutal murder of her loved ones, she was shocked because she knew those young men well.
I would feed them?
The murderers?
Yes. Whenever I came here to visit my sister and help her cook, they were renovating the next-door apartment at the time. I felt sorry for them as they had no time to eat properly. So I brought them food there. I didn't know they were such monsters.
I don't understand what drove them.
Yes, it's the most important question.
They seem to be out of their minds, like under the influence of something.
Does this mean that the 2 men killed a young couple and 2 defenseless children so brutally because they were in a state of alcohol or drug intoxication? This is simply mind-bending. Both murderers of the family were sentenced to life in prison.
Then I said that I had lost everything and that I didn't need anything. I simply howled at the cemetery as a wolf every day.
Later, the woman gave birth to another son, but I saw that his birth was just an attempt to bring back Yura.
It was really it.
Because of the grief she experienced, Tetiana turned into a living corpse. She can't recall 4 years of her life after the tragedy at all. She had no feelings, no desires, no emotions, only memories of Yura.
I was just a body without a soul. Whenever I opened the closet and saw his clothes in it, I would weep.
Tetiana says that it's hard not only to come to terms with the death of your child, but also to continue living after that. After her son's funeral, Tetiana even offered her husband a divorce.
He resented it and said, "What do you mean?"
Only thanks to her beloved husband could Tetiana survive her loss. And only 4 years later did the couple decide to have another child.
Since he was a boy, I wanted to have another boy. And it so happened that I became pregnant with Bodan.
My djinns say that your son doesn't even come to you in dreams because he's stuck in this apartment.
Your son's spirit is here. He's looking at you and showing a strange gesture. Like a cross. Like this.
Deaf-mute people communicate with gestures. It means I love you.
He's showing that he loves you.
This is the boy that the cards showed you at the beginning of the investigation.
We can avoid 2 deaths when I see a boy with a cross on his heart. And this gesture is similar to a cross. But whose 2 lives do we have to save?
It was about the lives of Anna and your grandson, Roman. This is all about your son.
A child like him should become an angel because he's little. He was murdered brutally. But he's still here. Why won't he leave?
My djinns are telling me the boy must find peace near the yellow flowers.
What color are the flowers on his grave?
Yellow.
We need to go to the cemetery.
However, Elena, the owner of the apartment, can't go with the psychics due to some personal issues.
I have nobody to babysit.
Elena, don't worry. The boy's spirit won't harm you. We will do everything to release him as soon as possible. Here are the yellow flowers. The boy's spirit has to say goodbye to you here. Your son must receive wings. He must become the guardian angel of your grandson. This is why little Roman also finds himself in danger all the time. His angel was supposed to be Tatiana's son. But because the boy is attached to the place of his death, he can't do this.
Both Anna and little Roman had the same problem with their guardian angels, who for some reason couldn't protect them.
Your grandmother will only become an angel when she helps Tatiana's son. This is her mission, after which she will be given her wings. But we need to find out what is keeping the boy in this world. Just a moment. My jinns say that all this is happening because of the woman who bound the child to the window.
And that woman is you. You, Tatiana.
I see a picture of you standing under the windows of the apartment where the murder took place and staring into them. You constantly do this.
Yes.
And every time you call your son.
Yes, of course I called him. I came here every day. Every day I cried, talked, and asked for forgiveness.
Your son's spirit doesn't bear a grudge against you, but your love is holding him back. He keeps standing by the window because he knows that you're still coming to call him. Because of this, he can't become an angel, and this hurts him. Anna's grandmother is supposed to help him, and therefore can't protect her granddaughter. And Alina sees terrible dreams and feels an otherworldly presence in her apartment. Maternal love is the strongest feeling, and it is what keeps the boy in this world. After all, Tatiana has not yet accepted her son's death. She can't let him go.
I felt sorry for Mom. She cried so bitterly. She would get hysterical, and we had to calm her down. We gave her injections to help her keep herself together.
The connection between a mother and her child lasts even after death. They feel each other, even being in different worlds.
You keep him attached here like he's tied with a rope. Let go of the rope and let him fly.
We have to summon the boy's spirit to show him his grave. And only at the grave can I perform a ritual so that he can finally pass into the afterlife. Are you ready?
I am.
Now you have to call your son here for the last time. Tell him how much you love him and say goodbye.
Yura, my dear boy. Forgive me, son. Don't be mad at me, my little sunshine. I let you go. I wish you to be well. I release you.
Your son can finally go to the other world. Now he has wings.
My soul even feels lighter now.
Now he will visit you in your dreams, just as you hoped. And your grandson will be under protection.
Thank you so much for helping me.
Anna, now your grandmother can finally become your guardian angel. And Alina and her little daughter will not be afraid of their own home because the boy's spirit has gone to heaven.
I'm so incredibly happy. I just want to rejoice.